Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do a Let's Play and Initial Impressions review for ZenVR, a game released on the Steam store today, December 13th, 2021, for the HTC Vive, Valve Index, and the Oculus Rift. It's by Satori Studios. It normally retails for $20. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game. And let's go ahead and let's get started. As far as settings, there's only two rotation styles, snap and smooth turning. Now, I've chosen snap, and the reason for that is smooth turning is very slow. I do have full locomotion on, so I'm not using teleportation, but it is available. Let's go ahead and do lesson 1. So we're going to do Introduction to Meditation. This game is in early access. It's obviously a relaxation app, a meditation app. And the difference between this and other apps is that this really does focus on teaching you meditation. So it's got a lot of information. It's very factual. Unlike a lot of meditation apps in VR, this actually gives you all the details that you would need to know to learn meditation, even if you don't know anything about it. So let's go ahead and start the first lesson. There's currently 4 lessons available. It's in early access.
Hello
They promise 8.
and welcome. My name is Kai, and I'll be your guide as we walk together into the world of meditation. Across the various traditions, I might be called by titles like Sensei, Roshi, Shifu, Rinpoche, Lama, or even Master. And while you can use whatever feels the most comfortable to you, you're also welcome to simply call me teacher, or even just by my name, Kai. I've studied many years at various schools and monasteries, learning the ins and outs of meditation from my teachers, and now I'd like to share those with you. Take a moment now to just observe this new space around you. This is your sanctuary, your place to come once or twice a week to learn about meditation and practice it in a safe, calm setting to supplement and guide your personal practice. I'll be guiding you through a series of lessons on the practice of meditation. In each lesson, you'll learn, try out, and build on different meditation techniques with an emphasis on practices aimed at developing a calm, still mind. After each session, we'll take a few minutes to talk about other concepts in meditation to supplement your practice and that you can use off the cushion in your everyday life. To begin today's lesson, let's talk about what meditation actually is. You may have heard about meditation through pop culture, through an interest in Buddhism, or through learning about its numerous benefits for the mind and body. You may even have some idea in your head of a monk sitting with his legs crossed, saying, Om, over and over again. But there's a bit more to it than that. Meditation is a practice, like lifting weights, but rather than training your body, you're training your mind to be engaged, attentive, clear, and unburdened. Like any practice, it is something you get better at by doing repeatedly with the intention to hone your skill. Thus, meditation can be said to be the act of entering a state of mental attentiveness, wherein by doing so, you train the mind to be more attentive throughout your entire life. There are many different forms of meditation, such as walking, singing, eating, and sitting. However, I'll mostly be teaching you forms of sitting meditation in this setting. The act of sitting meditation comes down to 3 main components: posture, breath, and attention. To begin, let's start with posture. Posture is the way we orient, position, and arrange our body in the physical world. You can think of it as the physical foundation for all other parts of meditation that follow. Just as a tall building needs a strong foundation to build upon, good posture and awareness of that posture provides the basis for the balanced emotional and mental tower that we will learn to construct. There are 5 main posture checkpoints that you can always remember when beginning to meditate. The first checkpoint is your seated position. There are many different ways to sit and position your legs, and it is important to find one that is comfortable and stable for you. It's generally good to sit on a cushion so that your hips are higher than your knees to ease tension. The most basic seated form is simply cross-legged, or crisscross applesauce, as I like to call it. This is probably how you sat on the ground as a child. However, a more stable, traditional form exists, where you take one crossed leg and raise it so it rests on the thigh of the other. This is known as half lotus. If you are very flexible, you can enter the more difficult full lotus position, as I am, by starting in half lotus and raising your second leg so it rests on your other thigh. However, if all of these are too demanding, you can also sit with your legs loosely positioned or even straight out in front of you. Experiment now and try to find something suitable, stable, and comfortable for your body. Sitting like this can be a little uncomfortable at first. You'll feel resistance as one leg inevitably stretches more than the other. However, your body will adapt, and the positioning will get easier over time as your muscles stretch and relax. But if at any point it becomes painful, even while meditating, switch the way your legs are crossed to give the other leg a break. The second checkpoint is your spine and shoulders. Slightly arch your lower back forward, like a cobra, and press your bottom vertebrae forward into your tailbone. If you feel your posture waning, press into this point to regain it. Keep your upper back straight and upright, but avoid creating tension. Imagine your vertebrae stacking and resting one on top of the other to create a stable and relaxed tower. Now gently relax your shoulders and roll them back slightly. You can imagine a line up through your spine, aligning your back and head. Which brings us to the third checkpoint, your head. Tuck your chin in slightly towards your chest, lightly stretching the back of your neck. Your face should be angled slightly downwards, but this should all be restful, not forced. Fourth, check your jaw. Give it a slight wiggle to release tension. You want it to be unclenched and slightly opened. Your tongue should rest easily on the roof of your mouth, and of course, wear a slight smile. It's a lot more relaxing than frowning. The final checkpoint is your hands. There are many traditional hand positions for meditation, called mudras, and they can help invoke different ideas such as calmness, compassion, or oneness with the universe. You may be familiar with the mudra, where the tips of your index fingers and thumbs connect to form tiny circles like the OK sign. This is the Vitarka mudra and indicates teaching. Connecting your middle finger to your thumb in a similar fashion invokes compassion. Another popular mudra is the Dhyani mudra, where the back of one hand rests in the palm of the other, and the thumbs connect to form a circle. This invokes a sense of enlightenment and meditation. And my personal preference is the Diamond Fist mudra, where you fold the fingers of your right hand over your right thumb, then take the thumb of your left and insert it into the closed fist. Finally, closing your left hand over your right fist. No matter how you choose to position your hands, even if they just rest open on your legs, be mindful and intentional about this choice. This whole posture may seem rigorous, but it's actually quite simple once you find a position that works for you. Everybody's body is different, so do what's comfortable and take posture at your own pace so you don't injure yourself. Be prepared to change and adjust, and let your body teach you the best way to sit, both in a single session and over time. your body will relax itself, stretching and adapting to any tightness. For now, you can gently rock back and forth to settle and center your balance. Shrug your shoulders and let them fall naturally a few times to relax tension and find your internal harmony. The important thing is that you're paying attention to your position. Just put your whole self into the act of sitting, and over time you'll stretch and adapt. Finally, you may be wondering what to do with your eyes while you're meditating. You can close them or keep them slightly open. Some people concentrate better with their eyes closed, with less visual distraction. However, I find my imagination wanders with my eyes closed, so I prefer to keep them slightly open and engaged with reality, but not wandering or focused on any one thing. If you decide to keep them open, simply gaze slightly downward so your eyes are at rest and look through a fixed point about 3 feet in front of you. In some meditation practices, a different technique is to focus your eyes on a gently moving yet indistinct object, like the flame of a candle, sand falling in an hourglass, or the steam on my cup of tea here. This is another possibility for you to explore and incorporate into your practice. And like the options for mudras and seating positions, I suggest trying them out one at a time, not randomly, but with intention, during meditation, and seeing what works best for you. For now, keep your eyes open so you can watch me as we practice breathing. Since this is the first class, I'd like to explain how this is going to work. You can expect that in every lesson, we'll have some instruction on meditation technique, and then a period of time where I'll dim the lights for practice. During the instruction segment, I'll give an explanation and pattern for the technique we'll use that day, and numbers or other visuals will appear in the air in front of me for guidance. These visuals are meant to help make the pattern and technique more clear, not to set exact pacing for you. If your breaths take more or less time than my example, that's perfectly okay. The goal is not to strictly follow me, but to observe yourself. The visuals are just here to help during this initial instruction, but when we actually start our practice session, it will be up to you to set your own pace. The meditation technique we're going to practice today is called 1-2 breath counting. The goal of this technique is simply to focus on your breathing, which acts as a natural metronome to keep your attention here in the present moment. To begin, simply count 1 as you inhale, and then 2 as you exhale. Let's try this a few times. Inhale. 1.
1.
Exhale. 2.
2.
Inhale. 1.
1.
Exhale. 2.
2.
The act of counting occupies your mind as opposed to letting it wander to random thoughts, and focuses your attention on your breath, allowing you to track it without trying to control it. As you do this, just breathe naturally and observe. Don't force your breaths to be longer or shorter than they naturally would be. We're going to begin a timed meditation session shortly. I'll talk to you as we start meditating together, and then let you practice the technique a little bit on your own. We'll use this hourglass here as a reminder that there's no rush and you have plenty of time to get yourself into a calm mental state of focus. The hourglass is a useful tool because it shows relative time remaining without putting an exact number or countdown on it, so you can always see that time has passed without worrying about exact amounts. Like I mentioned earlier, some people like to passively rest their eyes on the falling grains of sand and use the subtle movement to promote focus and calm while counting their breath. However, you do not want to get attached to the hourglass or the sand, or let it become a hindrance. If you find yourself worrying about time remaining, remember, there is no rush. You can always come back and meditate more later, and then bring your attention back to your breath in the present moment. In just a moment, when you hear the chime ring, I'll start the hourglass and the meditation session will begin. And when you hear the chime again, that will signify the end. Consider the 5 posture checkpoints one more time and make any adjustments before we start. Now, I'm going to dim the lights. Feel free to keep your eyes open or closed from this point on.
I'm gonna... Oh, nope, can't. I was gonna pause it before you dim the lights, but...
Now, direct your attention to your breath. Let's take 3 longer, deeper, deliberate breaths to center ourselves. 1. 2. And 3. And now let your body return to its natural breath, counting 1 on the inhale and 2 on the exhale.
1, 2.
And you'll notice that there's a pause at the peak of inhalation and the valley of exhalation where you're not counting.
2.
It's easy for your attention to get pulled away in these times.
1.
So, like a kayaker navigating rapids, try to be especially
2.
vigilant in these gaps.
1.
You may notice that at first,
2.
your breaths are shallow and air is only filling your upper chest. However,
1.
as you settle into the 1, 2 rhythm of breathing in and out,
1.
you may find your breath deepens, filling your whole diaphragm
2.
and building a deep calm in your entire body and mind.
1, 2.
Let's keep counting the breath
1,
at your own pace. Inhale.
2.
1.
1,
Exhale. 2.
2.
Inhale. 1.
1,
Exhale. 2.
2. 1, 2.
And as we count, we're not trying to control or analyze the breath.
1,
Just notice it. Follow it.
2.
Observe it.
1, 2. Okay. I just want to give a couple of my impressions on this, some of my initial impressions. First of all, as far as the lesson, I thought it was a really good lesson.
If you notice your mind wandering away, out of the present, gently bring it back to the breath. Let the breath anchor your attention to this present moment.
Especially if you're new to meditation, I think this is really good instruction to really help you out.
We're going to continue breathing for another few minutes. I will ring the chime once the meditation ends.
So unlike a lot of VR apps that are meditation apps where you have like environments and you might have some guided meditation, they really lack the details that this full instruction gives. So if you're completely new to meditation, I think this is very helpful. and this is the best instructed meditation experience I've had in VR, just as far as the instructor being very clear, concise, detailed, so that you can meditate. However, there are some negatives in this experience. I would say the visuals are the weak part of this experience so far. This is fine, but it's pretty basic as far as what you're seeing right now. I don't know if you noticed, but the instructor will actually follow you, and even though his eyes closed, he'll follow you. But let me show you some. It's the environment that's really lacking. As you see here, this I guess it's a rock or a tree. I don't know, but the texture is so poor that I can't really tell what it is. I think it's supposed to be a rock, but I'm not 100% positive. Then you look at the ground; it's painted grass and petals there. So again, very low textures. You see the tree clip through the floorboard here. You'll see this plant just goes through the wood here. So again, part of the building it's actually floating in the air. If you go around it, you'll notice it. So again, as far as the visuals, they're not very good. And you saw that during the lesson, some of the instructions were on just white rectangles with a very basic black font. The presentation, as far as that, could be a lot better as well. So definitely this is lacking as far as the visuals, as far as some of the presentation. And I also noticed as far as the instructor's voice, while I enjoyed the instructor's instruction, the sound mix wasn't all that great. It sounded like his microphone was a little too loud, the sound mix wasn't correct, and just the quality of the mic didn't seem to be there. It kind of sounded like some YouTube videos. Might even sound like, I don't know if my YouTube video sounds better. I know right now I'm on the Oculus microphone, but I would say it probably sounds similar to what I'm using right now, how you hear me, because the Oculus VR headset microphone isn't very good, so the quality of the voice is going to not sound that great to a listener in YouTube. And trust me, I'm very familiar with my Let's Play, especially on the Oculus or even Windows Mixed Reality, where the microphone, the voice just doesn't sound very good because of the mic quality isn't the best. So here, the same issue. I think the instructor did a great job, but the sound mix, the whatever they used to record his voice wasn't the highest quality, so it doesn't sound as good as it should to be a professional type of experience. Especially for a meditation app, I think it's very important that the voice be recorded properly. That way, when you're listening, it's not something that's a distraction. It should kind of flow with the meditation experience itself. But again, as far as the instruction, this is the best in VR. $20 is kind of expensive for a meditation app, but there are 4 lessons currently, and they plan 8 lessons. I think the lessons are about 30 to 40 minutes each. So I think as far as that goes, I think that is quality, and it's probably a fair price for what they're asking for. But I know that the visuals, and there's only 2 environments. There's this environment, again, it doesn't look very good, and then there's also a rain environment, and that one's locked away. You have to actually do some of the learn lessons. There's also a practice mode, and it just kind of repeats some of the things you learned during the lessons, and a lot of the audio is exactly the same. There's just parts of the lesson that you learned into the practice. So it does kind of feel a little bit repetitive if you come back for practice, if you've already heard a lot of the stuff that they're saying. So beware of that.
Let's take another 3 deep, intentional breaths. 1.
Let me go ahead and stop it here. I think at the end he just practiced a little bit more, or maybe this is the end, but I just want to say that I do recommend this just because I think this is great for someone who's a beginner meditation. I think that if you're already very familiar with meditation and already very familiar with the techniques and all that, you might find the environments to not be good enough for what you're looking for. However, if you're looking for a true instruction on meditation for VR, I would say that this is the best so far. The instructor is very detailed. I think it's very clear, and you can follow along and know what to do and what not to do to help enhance your meditation experience. So I do recommend it for those people. I'm not going to give it a score, but I do recommend it for people who are looking for instruction in meditation for VR. I think this is a good one. I think for $20 for the amount of lessons that you're going to get, I don't know if 4 lessons is enough to justify the current asking price, but again, there's 4 current lessons and there's 8 being promised as far as at the end of early access. So I think with 8 lessons, I think it'll be worth the $20. So, anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day and enjoy the meditation. Goodbye.
2, and 3. You can relax your posture now. With a gentle, rocking motion, unfold your legs. Rub your hands together and massage your neck, shoulders, arms, and legs, helping the blood flow return to the rest of your body. As you do this, take some time and think about how you feel in this moment, body and mind. Although you may have encountered some challenges in this first meditation, like holding the posture or reining in your thoughts, I'd like for you to notice any sense of calmness and clarity that may have taken hold. Notice the qualities of this state of mind and try to remember them. These are some of the first tastes of the benefits of meditation. Now, we'll take a few minutes to talk about some concepts to supplement your practice. You may not realize it, but in the simple practice of meditation, you are slowly rewiring how you think. Like strengthening a muscle with exercise, you are gradually training your mind to be more focused on the present and less distracted by negative thoughts and worries. As a result, many experienced meditators may eventually become more attentive, aware, and compassionate while feeling less reactive, judgmental, and stressed. In fact, these benefits have even been backed up by science. The changes in the mind also correspond to changes in the body, reversing the body's stress response as it lowers blood pressure and settles heart rate and respiration, which lead to short-term relaxation and long-term well-being. And even beyond coping with stress, there are many possible ways in which the practice of meditation may weave positive threads into your life. I've had many students share with me the ways in which they have come to use meditation in their everyday lives. To wind down before bed, to focus their mind on a task or training exercise, to ready themselves before a test or competition, to remain calm during events outside of their control, or simply to take a short pause and recenter during a busy day. Some people turn to meditation for these benefits. Others meditate to address challenges in their personal lives, to explore consciousness and pursue enlightenment, or to discover and become the best version of themselves they can be. So take a moment to consider your intentions for learning to meditate. What brought you here? What do you hope to experience? What might you gain? Consider your intentions now, and then send them out into the universe and let them go. Simply remind yourself of these goals without becoming attached to them, and over time, through consistent practice, they will manifest like a small sapling growing into a beautiful tree. I'll put this small bonsai tree in the corner over there, Keep an eye on how it changes and grows with you as you return to this place in the future. The benefits of meditation and any outcomes you seek can take a long time to attain and will only come with practice. Like learning an instrument, meditation is a skill that only grows with time dedicated to practicing. Between now and the next time we see each other, just try to focus on your breath as we did today. See if you can deliberately observe your breath just twice a day in the course of your everyday life. Then, see if you can sit and meditate for just 5 minutes, at least once before your next session. Until next time, peace and safe travels.